Well, hello, and welcome to the behind the scenes video of Mission Failed, a short film. So the premise of this project was to focus mainly on storyboarding, and I have a short little clip of me talking about that, so I'm going to cut to that real quick.
That wasn't as graceful as I hoped it would be. What is up, fam? It's your girl Jemy here to give you the first, episode. This is the first of hopefully many parts to the fancy title about how to learn how to make films. That's right. Okay. So the first one that I would like to do is work on storyboarding, because never really thought about it before, and it didn't really... The way I make videos on YouTube is I kind of just go out there and film whatever and then see what happens and then work with what I have. So I think planning out the shots beforehand is something that would be pretty useful. Don't you think? So for those of you who don't know, when you make films, generally it is best if you plan out each shot beforehand, what you want to do. That way when you go out in the field, you can just get started right away, know exactly what you want for the image or the shot, and then you can move on to the next one pretty quickly. Because on a film set, time is money, and money is, everything. So especially for low budget or no budget films, knowing all your shots beforehand is key to getting in and out of any set or place as fast as possible. So what I have here open is a penultimate. I wrote the concept of the video down last night, and I kind of wrote some rules for myself, so I'll just read them to you now. So the rules are: so create a story and plan out every shot using the storyboard technique, film all the prep, and go behind the scenes in writing this video.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is kind of play the short film itself, and then add any comments, and then if I have some behind the scenes footage, I can show that as well. Basically, this is a director's commentary sort of situation, so hope you guys enjoy those, because that's what this is. So without further ado, Mission Failed, a short film. So I really like the first opening scene. It's just Nick, center shot, medium, and it kind of sets the mood. It's pretty dark and everything, and then, I come in and everything. So these shots, when I drew them out, they were really easy to do, especially the back and forth between me and Nick. There was one camera for each of us, and then we just went through our lines, or I improv'd the entire thing basically, which is really sad. And we sort of kept rolling until we got a take that we thought was good enough, and then I sort of layered the two shots in between, certain phrases and whatnot. And then while I was making the video, I was hoping to sort of create the suspense as to why Nick was being interrogated, or why things were happening and stuff like that. So hopefully, the first minute or so was pretty, confusing, or not necessarily confusing, but, ominous, like, oh, what happened? Why is he there? What's going on? Sort of thing.
Everything about this mission has gone wrong.
Yeah, so when it came to, piecing everything together, or talking it out, my main goal was to try and talk for as long as possible without giving it away that Nick's partner died during a mission. So that's why it was difficult, because even when we do the flashbacks, I didn't want to give away that Nick's partner died. So that was a little difficult, because I ran out of things to talk about, so we did that scene about 3 or 4 times, which was great. And yeah, so next scene here, we sort of get into the more quicker tempo music, and then we see Nick and his partner, which is my friend Aaron, in the mission scene. So the way I tried to distinguish between the past and the present was sort of give the past like a vignette. So there's some soft circles around the edges of the scene, and then it's a darker color tone, or a color grading. That way you kind of can get a sense that, oh, this is something different from the interrogation scene. Or at least I hope so. If not, that's great. And so that was really difficult to kind of color grade and make it all look the same, because it was shot outside and things were different. So yeah, and then I also, when I was making this, wanted to do sort of a voiceover sort of thing, so as the action was playing out, I wanted to speak over it and kind of not necessarily narrate it, because then that would give it away, but you know, talk through with Nick and just kind of lay it all on him, like, oh my god, this is your fault. So that's what I tried to do. And yeah, so going back to the storyboard situation, basically before I even filmed a shot of this, I had myself draw out each shot that I wanted to do, and it was painstakingly intricate and annoying. I'm terrible at drawing, so this is really annoying for me. And, you know, this is the first time I've ever thought each shot out before filming. And it didn't work exactly the way I thought it would, just because when we were on set, I realized that I wanted more movement within the scene than just static shots. And a lot of the shots that I drew out were very static, meaning that the camera didn't move. Yeah, and so then actually, if you notice there, you'll notice that the color grading for Nick, the bad guy, didn't actually happen. And then, yeah, here I try to slow it down, make it a little bit more dramatic. And then, yeah, you find out that Nick's partner's dead. Oops. So hopefully that was a little suspenseful. And I'm actually pretty proud of this project. You know, it turned out pretty well, like the way I thought it would. And normally things don't turn out exactly the way you want it. And so, but as a whole, I think this project was a success. I'm a little sad that it doesn't have as many views as other videos, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, am I right? So, yeah. Going back to this whole storyboard situation, like I said, I drew out everything, and so I actually have some footage of me doing some of the first storyboards, so I'm going to go to that real quick. So the app that I used to draw out all my shots was Penultimate by Evernote. I used it on my iPad, and I basically, I just split the page in half so that I had, you know, a space to draw and a space to write out what I drew. That way, in case I didn't understand my drawing, I could at least reference my notes underneath. And for the most part, this technique worked out. The only things that you guys are seeing are like things that I've scrapped. I didn't actually use them when we were filming, or like when we were out shooting for the day. So what you're seeing isn't entirely accurate. But yeah, so it was kind of annoying the way I was really just trying to be a perfectionist and trying to at least make my drawings look okay. And you know, I'm a terrible drawer to begin with, so I don't know why I wasted so much time. And I think that's what made me not make this short film as fast as I normally could have, because I was just wasting time. But yeah, in the end, it was nice. The way that the storyboard technique works, it's nice because you get to see everything that you are going to shoot before you even shoot it. So when you're out on set and you have like a low to no budget film project, it's vital that you have things sort of set up or laid out, because time is money in the industry, and so it's extremely important to know exactly what you want, otherwise you're just wasting money. But basically, it's really nice to kind of see what you're gonna do before you even go out to film it. I actually have some examples of that. Some storyboards can be very detailed and have so much going on that it's almost like the movie's a comic book already laid out. And then there are some that are, you know, very basic, just like, oh, this is where the person will be, this is what lighting will be like, this is how close the camera is going to be. It's just very rudimentary stuff. So yeah, that is the storyboard technique in use. The film project that I used for this technique was Mission Failed, and I thought this was a very successful short film. When it comes to actually implementing the storyboards while we were on set, I used them as reference, but when it came to like coming up with the different shots, like I said before, it was kind of, oh, this is what I want it to look like, but I'll incorporate some movement now now that we're filming, and I kind of have a feel for what I want and stuff like that. So the film itself, I would say, high rating, 7, 8 out of 10. And then when it comes to implementing the storyboard technique, I would say like a 5. You know, I used them, I drew them out, but when it came to actually filming or like going out and shooting things, I didn't reference them as much as I thought I would or that I thought I should. That is what I thought about the whole storyboard technique. Thank you guys for watching this. I hope this was a little bit insightful for anyone who is interested in filmmaking and the idea of storyboarding a film project. And if not, let me know how I can make this better in the comment section below. Also, reach out to me if you have any questions about filmmaking or anything in general. I'm always here to help. And yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys. It's been real. See ya.